Hello everyone, I am Gayatri, peer mentor for data visualization techniques. Now, I am going to talk about the concepts of data modeling. I will be explaining conceptual models, spreadsheet models, and relational data models in detail. Now, moving on to our topic, first, I am going to talk about data modeling. Data modeling is the process of creating data model for the data to be stored in database, which means we can use data models to store our data in a database. These data models are a conceptual representation of data objects, the associations between different data objects, and the rules. Data modeling helps us in visually representing data, and it enforces business rules and government policies on data. Here, business rules are nothing but logical statements that express how a business uses its data, whereas government policy is nothing but a documented set of guidelines to ensure that an organization's data and information assets are managed consistently and used properly. Such guidelines typically include individual policies for data, quality, access, security, privacy, and usage. So, finally, data modeling is nothing but a process used to create a data model, whereas data models are used for ensuring consistency, naming conventions, default values, semantics, and security in order to ensure the quality of data. Here, the word semantics is nothing but the meaning of that particular data. Now, I am going to talk about data modeling process. The process of data modeling begins with the identification of things, events, or concepts that are represented in the data set that is to be modeled. In the second step, we will identify the key properties of each element. For instance, an entity called customer might possess attributes such as first name, last name, telephone number, and salutation, while an entity called address might include a street name and number, a city, state, country, and zip code. So these will be the key properties. In the third step, we will try to identify the relationships for the entities. Like in the example we discussed earlier, each customer lives at an address. If that model were expanded to include an entity called orders, each order would be shipped and billed to an address as well. In the fourth step, we will map attributes to the entities. In this step, we will ensure that the model reflects how the business will use the data. In the fifth step, we will assign keys as needed and decide on a degree of normalization that balances the need to reduce redundancy with performance requirements. For instance, if customers are each assigned a key, the key can be linked to both their address and the order history without having to repeat this information in the table of customer names. Normalization tends to reduce the amount of storage space a database will require, but it can add cost to query performance. In the sixth step, which is the last step, we will finalize and validate the data model. Now, types of data models. There are actually three types of data models. Those are conceptual data model, logical data model, physical data model. Conceptual data model defines what the system contains. This model is typically created by business stakeholders and data architects. The main purpose of this data model is to organize, scope, and define business concepts and rules. Logical data model defines how the system should be implemented regardless of the database. This model is typically created by data architects and business analysts. The main purpose of this data model is to develop a technical map of roles and data structures. Physical data model describes how the system will be implemented using a specific database system. This model is typically created by database administrators and developers. The main purpose of this data model is the actual implementation of database. I will be talking about conceptual data model in detail in the coming slides. Now, what exactly a conceptual data model is? A conceptual data model is nothing but an organized view of database concepts and their relationships, like the relationship between the entities. The main purpose of creating this data model is to establish entities and to establish its attributes and relations between them. In this data model, we do not discuss or work on the database structure. We just try to mainly focus on the entities and its relation between two or more entities. Now, this particular conceptual data model is created by business stakeholders and data architects. Basic terms in conceptual model. There are mainly three of them. The first one is entity. It is defined as a real-world object with an existence. The second one is attribute. The characteristics or the properties of an entity are defined as attributes for that particular entity. The third term is relationship. Any dependency or association between two entities is defined as a relationship. Now, I will explain these terms with the help of an example. This is an example of a conceptual data model. Let us consider company as a database. Since is entity a real world object with an existence, I have considered customer and product as the entities in the company database. Since attributes are nothing but properties of entities, customer name and customer number becomes the attributes for customer entity, and product name and product price becomes the attributes for product, as they are the characteristics that define the entity. Relationship is nothing but the dependency or association between two entities. So the relation between customer and product is that customer buys the product when the product is for sale. So here, sale is the relationship between customer and product. Relationship might not be unique. You can give any name for relation between two entities as long as it satisfies the condition. Now for the same example, I can give relationship name as purchase, as customer purchases the product when it is for sale. Now, I will conclude conceptual data model by explaining about the characteristics of conceptual model. The traits of conceptual model are, it offers an overall view of the structure of the data. The next trait is that it offers features that are independent of database or any physical storage. Conceptual data model just explains what is needed for the enterprise and what is needed for the business to understand. These objects may not be implemented into physical database, nor are implemented in models. It offers the data that is required to perform business operations and enterprise operations. Spreadsheet models. The process of performing calculations on data entered by the user using a spreadsheet application is called a spreadsheet model. Generally, computer models of mathematical data such as budgets are usually done using spreadsheet applications. This is an example of a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet appears as a grid. Each row has its own number and each column has its own letter. This spreadsheet is the example for a grocer who uses a mobile shop to sell groceries to customers who live out of town. He uses the spreadsheet to keep a record of his daily sales. In this spreadsheet, the grocer stores information of what items are available in the spreadsheet. It is named as produce. The next column unit in the spreadsheet refers to how each product is sold, like apples are sold as kilograms, whereas carrots are sold per 25 kilograms. Numbers sold in a spreadsheet refers to the total number of quantity sold per each produce. Now, for example, price in the column in the spreadsheet represents the price per unit for each produce. Now, for the sales column, we calculate it using a formula. The formula is number sold into price. It represents the total sales of each produce. Now, total sales of the entire mobile shop of the grocer is represented in 9th row, 5th column. It is also calculated using a formula, and the formula is summation of the all sales of each produce, which gives the total of 141.14 pounds. Like this, we can create spreadsheets in Excel or any tool you're comfortable with and perform the necessary tasks. Now, the last topic I'm going to talk about in spreadsheet models is the advantages of spreadsheet models. Spreadsheet models offer more effective data handling. It is because you can change the input data anytime, and the same calculations are performed without you having to retype those calculations. The spreadsheet therefore automatically provides new conclusive data every time you update some or all of the input data, which they provide effective data handling. The second advantage is that it enables more flexible presentation, where we can alter column widths and easily delete or add columns and rows. We can also underline and embolden text and use different fonts and graphics. Now, I will be talking about relational data model. Relational model represents database as a collection of relations. Now, here relation refers to the table consisting of values. Every row in the table represents a collection of related data values. The existing of rows in the table denotes a real world entity or relationship. In relational model, data is represented as a table. I will explain all the basic terms in a relational model in the coming slides. Basic terms in a relational model. As said earlier, data in relational model is stored in the form of a table. This table is used to store the details of customer. Here in this, attributes are represented as columns, where customer ID, customer name, and status are attributes for customer entity. The total column count is defined as the degree. This whole table is known as a relation. Next, primary key is nothing but unique element in the entire column alongside being not empty, which A value should be present alongside being unique. So here the term domain is nothing but a predefined value for an attribute. For example, we can set the value to be not null before entering the details in the table, or we can set it as null, making it not mandatory for it to be present in the table. Tuple is nothing but a row in the table. The total number of rows in the table is given as cardinality. These are the basic terms in the relational model. So now I will be talking about the operations performed on a relational model. There are mainly 4 operations like insert, update, delete, and select. At first, I will be talking about insert operation. Insert operation is nothing but adding an additional row to the existing table. The query for insert operation is insert into table, the table name, where we will specify the column names like column 1, column 2, and so on, column n. So, and values, we'll give the values as expression 1, expression 2, and so on, expression n, where we will substitute those with the values we want to write. So as I said earlier, we specify the column names particularly present at the table and the particular values that we want to enter in the place of the syntax. The next one is update operation. For suppose I want to update the status of Apple from inactive to active. Now I can write the query as update customer, since my table name is customer, set status is equals to active, where customer ID is equals to 3. Now next is the delete operation. For suppose I want to delete a particular row where customer ID is equals to 4. For this to happen, I can write the query as delete from customer, where customer ID is equals to 4. Now the row will be deleted. The last operation is select operation. For suppose I want to display a particular row where customer name is Amazon. Now I can write the Oracle query as select star from customer, where customer name is equals to Amazon. So now the name will be filtered and all the details belonging to customer name Amazon will be printed. These are the 4 operations along with the Oracle queries. Now, the last topic in relational model is the advantages of relational model. The first advantages is that a relational data model is simpler than the hierarchical and network model. The second one advantage is that the relational database is only concerned with data and not with the structure. This can improve the performance of the model. The third advantage is relational model is easy to use as tables consisting of rows and columns are quite natural and simple to understand. The fourth advantage is it makes possible for a high-level query language like SQL to avoid complex database navigation. The fifth advantage is the structure of relational database can be changed without having to change any application. So these are the advantages of relational model. Now, we will conclude this session. Summary. Firstly, I discussed about data modeling and the types of data modeling. In that, I discussed about conceptual model in a detailed manner. Then I spoke about the spreadsheet model. Finally, I explained the data model and its operations, and finally its advantages. Now, that is all about these concepts. Thank you.